Girl, you taught me how to hurt real bad and cry myself to sleep. Showed me how this town.
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Hashing It Out with Paul Hash, the show where I ask the questions that everybody forgot to ask. Today I'll be talking to the lovable murderer and connoisseur of mustard and biscuits, Karl Childers, better known to you guys as Slingblade. So let's go live via satellite to the Nervous Hospital and talk to Karl Childers. Karl, in everyone's lives, part of growing up is that moment when you learn that the platypus actually has a four-headed penis. Where were you and what were you doing when you first learned of this miracle of nature?
I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just kind of staring at the wall and waiting on my mother to come out and give me my Bible lesson, you know.
Karl, we all remember where we were during the summer of '95 when the dance craze, the Macarena, took the world by storm. Where were you and what were you doing during these monumental times?
I lived out back of my mother and father's place most of my life in a little old shed that my daddy had built for me. They didn't too much want me up there in the house with the rest of them. So mostly I just sat around out there in the shed looking at the ground.
Karl, I've got to say, you have an uncanny resemblance to the godfather of soul, James Brown. He was known as the hardest working man in show business. Would you say that sounds like you?
My father was a hard-working man most of his life. Not that I can say the same for myself. I mostly just sat around out there in the shed, tinkered around with a lawnmower or two.
A few years back, you were given the honor to visit Buckingham Palace as a guest of the Queen herself. How was your stay there and what sights did you see?
Just sat around out there in the shed looking at the ground. I didn't have no floor out there, but I had me a hole dug out to lay down in, and a quilt or two to put down there.
While you were in England, you were invited to the royal wedding. It's got to be tough shopping for a wedding gift for royalty. What did you finally pick up?
I picked up a Kaiser blade that was sitting there by the screen door. Some folks called it a Slingblade. I call it a Kaiser blade. Just kind of a long wood handle, kind of like an axe handle, with a long blade on it, shaped kind of like a banana. Sharp on one edge and dull on the other.
It's not well known, but you received a scholarship to Harvard Law School when you were just 16 years old. Tell us about your time there.
Went to school off and on from time to time. But the children out there, they were very cruel to me and made quite a bit of sport of me, made fun of me quite a bit.
From what I understand, when you were in school, you were quite popular. No doubt you had a ton of friends, but who was your absolute best friend growing up?
Well, old man Dixon, he had a boy. His name was Jesse Dixon. Jesse was really more cruel than his daddy was. He used to make quite a bit of sport of me when I was down there at the schoolhouse.
As I've stated before, you attended Harvard Law School. While you were there, what did you do for fun, and what did you think is the most important thing you've learned from your time there?
Used to take advantage of little girls there in the neighborhood and all. They used to say that my mother was a very pretty woman. They said that quite a bit from time to time when I'd be down there at the schoolhouse.
Singer Todd Rundgren has stated, "I don't want to work, I just want to bang on the drum all day." Do you think that best describes your family's work ethics when you were growing up?
My daddy worked down there at the sawmill, down at the planer mill, for an old man named Dixon. Old man Dixon was a very cruel feller. Didn't treat his employees very well, didn't pay them too much of a wage, didn't pay my daddy too much of a wage.
From what I understand, your father actually made enough money to buy a brand new Cadillac every year and kept your mother in furs and diamonds. What kind of lavish extravagances did they spoil you with?
But I reckon he got by all right. They used to come out, one or the other of them. Usually my mother. Feed me pretty regular. So I know he made enough to where I could have mustard and biscuits 3 or 4 times a week.
Karl, describe the joy of your most memorable Christmas morning when you rushed into the room and gazed upon the magnificent splendor underneath the tree.
Well, I heard a commotion up there in the house, so I run up on the screened-in porch to see what is going on. I looked in the window there and I seen my mother laying on the floor there, and clothes on.
Dude, that's pretty messed up. Wow. Did you at least get to see Santa?
I seen Jesse Dixon laying on top of her. He was having his way with her. Well, I just seen red.
Alright, I want to thank everyone for joining me again on Hashing It Out with Paul Hash. I am Paul Hash, and this is the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. I'm going to get out of here because I got a sudden hankering for French fried taters. So please join me next time when my guest will be Frank Zappa. That's next time on Hashing It Out with Paul Hash.
Excuse me.